doing, Oreo? This is Oreo. He is a 4-year-old PRE, Pura Race España, or Andalusian, if you're from the U.S. He is a dressage horse, and we're going to a show in a couple days. This is his doppelganger. This is Duende. Duende is a yearling, and he's bigger than Oreo. It was not what we wanted, but oh well, that's what you get when the horse picks you. And he's big, but he's a good boy. What you doing, Oreo? It's windy, so they're feeling rather fresh. So I figured I'd do a live so you can enjoy their antics. Hey, Jen. Sweet. Hope you're having a good day. Figured I'd come out here and chill with the boys for a little bit. Duende. What? Oh. It's Oreo. Now it's hard to tell them apart, but Oreo's the one swinging his head, and Duende is the one in the back. Duende is actually the younger one, but he's the bigger one. And his mane is shorter, half the length of, oh, there they go. Half the length of Oreo's, because he's quite a bit younger than Oreo. Yeehaw! That's why Duende was gelded. Yes, we don't like all that rearing. Oh, they're going to go down the other end of the arena, I guess. No? Oh, here they come. Yay! It's quite windy, that's why they're being rather silly. Yeehaw! Duende needs the exercise anyway. I don't know if there's anything going on with the neighbors, but no, actually they're not even related. Oreo is out of a chestnut mare and a Perlino sire. The Perlino sire was imported from France, and he is in the, I think he's in the Vegas area. I know he is in Nevada, and he shows in Nevada 3rd level. His mother was in Washington from a breeder that Carla Shorn, she no longer breeds, and I think he and his mother was sold to a guy in Southern California, because I picked him up in Southern California as a yearling about in 2020. I have that video. His Duende is from El Marengo, Rancho El Marengo, and they are down near Murrieta, also Southern California. His sire is Artista de Marengo, and his mother, I forget her name, but she's also Marengo. And they come from Valvalindos breeding. They breed in Spain, and they have a lot of black horses. So neither one of them is related. Duende, his sire showed and won in 4-year-old class and the 5-year-old class, and he's just for breeding now. They're not doing like dressage with him, but he had pretty good training on him. Beautiful horse, black. His mother's black also. So his statistics predictability for dressage is 109 out of 110 scale. So he has very high potential for dressage. So that's why I got him as a foal. And I knew even as a foal, as a weanling, that he was going to be enormous. And he's already 15.3 and he's still growing. So he's going to be probably over 16.3, pushing 17 hands, more than likely. I'm hoping he doesn't, but based on his size and the amount of bone he has, he's going to be big. Oreo is 15.2 hands. He's a little lighter build, and he's probably not going to get much bigger. He's been filling out. You know, obviously he's growing and maturing and he's in work, so. But, yeah, that's, the PREs should look like a PRE, and, you know, they do look very similar. And it's funny because I've had friends come over that know Oreo and have seen pictures and video of Duende, and they can't tell the two apart. So it always kind of cracks me up. But yeah, you can see Duende has the shorter tail. So in Spanish tradition, the colts, when they're born, they shave or after they're born, and they're, I don't know how old. Whoops, there we go. They shave the tail and they shave the mane, and that indicates when they're in the pasture with the mares that that's a colt. And the fillies, they shave the mane and then they leave half of the tail at the bottom, kind of like a pompadour or something. They leave like a palm at the bottom, so you know it's a filly. So that's why he's got his short tail still. But he's a yearling, so he's just now starting to grow his tail and his mane out. And Oreo looked the same way when I got him. He had the short tail and the short mane. It was like, you know, a butch cut. So, but I like the long mane, so I keep them braided. So that way the mane can grow out and hopefully stay on the same side. So that's what I do. Looks like they decided they're going to settle down and do some grazing, which is fine. It's a beautiful day for it. There we go. Which is good because the grass is growing along the edges of the arena, so I let them in here every so often to graze it down. Oh. Something to scare you? Whoops. It's a north wind, well, northwest wind, so they can be a bit electric, a little staticky. Gets them going a bit. He had yesterday off too. We were busy doing projects. I was trying to get the trailer ready for the show and do some other stuff. And I just got my ride time, so it looks like we're going to be riding in the afternoon around 3 o'clock on Friday, and then at 5:45 on Saturday, so I may have to book an extra night because that's kind of ridiculous to drive home at 8 o'clock at night. Just makes it harder to get in the gate, and I don't know. I'll decide. I'll probably be fed up and want to come home. Because I really don't need to go down Thursday if I'm showing so late on Friday, but we're going down the day before so we can get practice in the dressage courts and the layout of where the rings are and all that stuff. So it's good for him to do an overnight show and get there early and be able to settle. And we're also going to do Magna Wave. So we've got Magna Wave therapy that we're going to do. I don't know what day. I'll have to send the lady my ride times, and but we're going to have him have Oreo done. So it'll be his first time with Magna Wave. We'll see how he enjoys it, hopefully. Be good for him. Nice relaxation. And the sheep and donkeys are still put away, so they're not out here bothering him. Thanks, Keely. Appreciate it. Yeah, they are both exceptional boys. They're both quite beautiful. And they were not cheap. You know, you get what you pay for. But, you know, if you want to do dressage and you want to be serious about it, unfortunately, there's an entry fee to just get started. You know, you got to have a quality horse. And, you know, having one horse for sport, you know, is great, bringing him along and developing him. But I also, you know, that would be one horse. So I have the second horse, the foal, well, yearling. He's for the future. So I'll back him when he's about 4 because he's going to be so big. So he'll just be chilling out, and he'll start coming with us on trips, you know, to training and going for rides, getting familiar with the whole show scene as he's growing up. So that way it's no big deal when we start going out under saddle to actually show under saddle. But yeah, you can see Oreo doesn't have a brand because, you know, the person I bought him from, it wasn't his breeding, so he didn't have him branded. But Duende does. You can see the white ring. Let's see if my finger can point it out. Oops. Right there on his hip. You can see the M. That's for Marengo. Rancho El Marengo. Oops. I keep touching it and it keeps zooming in, and I didn't want it to zoom. There. Yeah, I do dressage. Oreo right here, my 4-year-old. He is showing training level right now. He's schooling first. Whoops. Here we go. But we're trying to qualify for the adult amateur regionals this year, and I need a couple more scores. I've got 2 scores for qualification, and I need 2 more for the adult amateur qualification. Because it's here in the Sacramento area this year, because it goes north and south for the California Dressage Society. So we're doing the adult amateur competition in June, and we're also qualifying or trying to qualify for the CDS championships, which are in September. So we need 4 more scores for that one, and I need 2 scores for the adult amateur regional. So I'm doing just the training level 1. Wee-ha! Woo! We're just doing training level 1, which is the easier test. I do need to do 2 of them at training level test 3, which we've got plenty of time to do that. And then I also, if we can, I might also try to qualify at first level. So he's got first level and training level chances for the regional and the national. So that's our goal for this year, is training level, first level. And of course we're schooling above where we're showing at. So whatever level we're showing at, we're actually schooling movements that are above that. So next year we'll be focusing on hopefully second and third level. Third level we start with flying changes. He can do all the basics for second level already, except for the walk canter. So that's the only thing we just started sort of introducing the concept. So, so eventually we'll be doing second level probably next year. He's very talented, Mr. Oreo here. He's tricky, he's very sensitive, so he's been really not difficult, but well, yeah, he has been difficult. He's been quite difficult to develop. I've backed him, I did all his groundwork, I've done everything under saddle. Only 2 other trainers that I've worked with have ever sat on him, so I do everything. And he's the most talented horse I've ever sat on. So he has the potential to be Grand Prix, which is why the 2 of them are here, is that I want to eventually do Grand Prix. which is the highest level for the dressage sport. So, and they both have the potential. They have very good movement, quality gaits. Um, I just have to develop him appropriately so that way he can show the quality within those movements, those advanced movements. But for now, they're just chilling. Yeehaw! Actually, the piaffe, interesting thing, the piaffe is used to develop the levad. So if you ever watch the Spanish riding school horses, you see them, the levad is like a rear, but they kind of sit back on their hocks a little bit. And it's developed, the levad is developed out of the piaffe. So you have that energy in the piaffe, which is kind of like the stationary trot. And then they go up into the levad. And it's frowned upon to rear, obviously, in dressage for competition. But that's how you would get your rear, is out of your piaffe. So I always kind of think levad when I see a horse rear when they're trying to do a piaffe, because it's that energy, and then they go upwards because they feel trapped because they can't go forward in the piaffe. So they'll go up. So that's why sometimes you'll see when you're watching dressage competitions and you see the horse moving forward more than on the spot in the piaffe, it's probably because in training the horse has felt trapped and has reared. So you'll get less point deductions if you go forward in the piaffe and at least allow the horse to feel like he can still move forward, than to make the horse feel trapped and then rear, and then you could potentially be eliminated. So that's kind of the fun stuff of training horses. Or stomping his foot, digging up my sand. That's because Duende, you probably can't see it very well. Duende is trying to bite his leg, and he's licking him. That's what he's doing. There goes, he's biting on his leg. So that's why he's pawing. Duende's biting him. He's biting. He said, I bite you. The competition's actually, I go down Thursday. So I'll be filming probably Thursday, traveling down, filming Friday, Saturday, and then I'll probably end up coming back either really late Saturday night or Sunday morning. But yeah, I'm planning to film. I've got my GoPro, and I'll probably be using my GoPro 12 for quite a bit of it. And it's just got really good, video quality. It's easier to set up and manipulate. There's usually a videographer at the show, and she's really good about getting me the videos like before the next morning. So like if I'm showing Thursday afternoon, I should have them in my inbox Friday morning, or no, yeah, Friday afternoon showing. I should have them in my inbox Saturday morning. She's usually pretty good about it. And I have all my rides will be videoed, and I'll be posting those. It'll take longer to go through those and post them, unless people want to see the raw show, then I'll just post the raw show. Yeah, I've been trying to reach out to Clip My Horse TV, because that's an app that I use, so I can watch all the European, like all the shows really. They do, they video in Ocala, so the World Equestrian Center in Ocala, they video all the rides there. So I get to watch those rides in the US, but otherwise I can watch European riding every day on my tablet. And I wish they would invest in filming the shows down here in Sacramento, because we have a lot of shows. And it looks like when I was looking at the start list, we have quite a few FEI people showing. So we've got Prix St. George, I1, I2, and Grand Prix. So there's quite a few entries, which is really good for this area, because usually we don't have that many. In Europe, for example, if you watch I'll watch a Prix St. George class, and there'll be 30 riders or more. Grand Prix can have 25, 30 riders. I2, same thing. So their FEI classes are much larger than we have here in the U.S. The shows in Florida, which is the Wellington area, they just had, they're called CDIs, they're qualifications for international competitions, and they had like 3 or 5 entries. So we're way behind with the quality of horse talent and riding talent that they have in Europe. But anyway, it's nice to see that we have a pretty good entry for this weekend. So I'll try to watch as much of the FEI classes as I possibly can. And then I'll do my little ride in the afternoon. And then just hang out and then do my thing. So I'll try to probably post clips. I don't know. We'll see how the show goes. Maybe I'll do a live during the show one of the days, depending on how the weather is and how much is going on at the time. Because maybe what I can do is a live and I can talk about what I'm seeing, like in one of the classes or something maybe, or talk you through the class or something. Because we don't have anybody that does any of that here in this country, unfortunately. You can't watch the rides and then have somebody explain to you what's happening. You know, that's the unfortunate part of dressage, is you kind of have to know dressage and the movements and how they're scored in order to really appreciate what you're watching. Yeah, it looks cool. You know, the music and all that stuff's cool, but what can look cool may not score well. You know, it's just kind of a difference. So it's kind of a technical sport. Well, I'm glad you guys are enjoying watching the horses just chilling. But yeah, if you guys are interested in that, you know, drop me some comments. Let me know. Because I go to the shows and, you know, I'm there and I watch other classes and stuff. So if you're interested in kind of me sort of talking about what I'm watching, you know, and that way you guys can see it and I can talk you through stuff, I'll do that. I'll do some recordings of that too. I find it interesting when I'm watching competitions and there's English translation, you know, English commentary. Especially if they're somebody that trains dressage and knows dressage, and they can kind of talk about what they're seeing and ooh, like if there's a mistake, what the mistake was, and then how harshly it's going to be penalized. Because some of the movements in dressage are double scored. So like eventing is pretty easy because it just has one score. Well, easy is, you know, it's not easy, but it's easier scored. So like if they do a walk movement, you just have the one score for the walk movement. Whereas a dressage rider has double score for the walk. So if my walk is scoring at a 5, I'm only going to get 10 points. Whereas if my walk is scoring at a 7 or an 8, then I'm going to get 14 to 16 points. So it can make a big difference. You know, that's 6 points. That's quite a bit of a difference. So, you know, there's things, that's why if, you know, when I decided I wanted to be serious about dressage, I had to have quality horses, because your walk score is a natural gait, yes, but you can improve it a bit. But the horse has to have it naturally in order to be improved upon. If the horse has a terrible walk and it's only going to score as a 4, well, if you get a score as a 4 and I get a score of an 8, well, then I'm going to win. So, you know, it's just, even though it's just the horse's natural ability, it seems very unfair. I've always thought of it as very unfair. But that's the rules. I mean, that's the sport. So, you know, such is life. So that's why I have the 2 horses that I have, specific for dressage. They can also do like working equitation if I wanted to switch sports and went over to working or equitation, which some of my friends have done. I have a friend that does, she has an Anglo-Arab, and she's been showing in the Arab and half Arab shows for a long time. But she's been stalling out at I1 because she's on a half Arab. And the horse just doesn't have the gaits to compete against the warm bloods and the PREs. So she's moved over to working equitation. She started doing that last year. But yeah, a few people that have non-warm blood breeds have moved over to other sports just so that they can be more competitive. But, yeah, anyway, so we just chilling. We're back to eating, which is good. Eat the grass. You can see we've got green grass in the pasture behind them. The grass really doesn't have great quality at the moment, even though it is warm, so it should be growing, and it probably has quite a bit of sugar in it because it's over 50 degrees now. It's not very tall, and it's been dry, so hopefully we'll get some more rain in the next month or so. Well, we're going to have to start watering. But eventually that pasture behind them, I need to put up electric fencing and stuff. We're going to be able to convert that over to for the horses to use. The sheep and donkeys, they take care of that area right now, and I spread a bunch of manure in there the last couple of years. There's a little plane flying over. You can see that. It's flying over the tree. We have an airport here in town for small planes. But yeah, so eventually that pasture is going to be dual purpose. The horses will eventually be able to use that in the spring. It's not usable most of the year because it's just too dry. But now, like when it's got grass, and I've been filling in the holes from where trees have been pulled out and trying to level it, and then spreading the manure so that way it improves the soil, because soil is just garbage over there. We'll get better grass once the soil improves. And then the boys will be able to go over there. Get their grass on. I've got 2 other pastures that the sheep and donkeys are in right now that they can go in to graze, like in the night. Those are irrigated. So those we use in the summer for the rest of the year. They'll go in there at night, and then they'll come in during the day. So they can eat some grass, chill out in the pasture, and then they'll have the evaporative cooler in the barn to keep them cool during the summer, because it gets pretty hot here during the day in the summer. So they are a little spoiled. Yeah, well, it looks like they're just going to eat the grass now. They've done all their little playing. They're just going to settle down and eat some grass. So I guess I'll let you guys go. Thanks for coming to watch. Hanging out with me while I'm watching the horses hang out. It's a beautiful day. So, but anyway, thanks for watching. And again, I'll try to maybe do a live or something. Again, leave some comments on my channel, like on my community page or something. Leave some comments and let me know what you'd like to see. Because again, I think I might do a live and then just talk about the classes that I'm watching and any, scoring and whatever's taking place maybe. Or just, I'm going to do some videoing of just being at the show and, getting the horse settled and riding around the showgrounds and, practicing in the warm-up area and all that horse show stuff. So I'm going to do that anyway. But it's nice to know what people like or what they're interested in. That way I can film something that that you like or that you're interested in or you have a question about. So, because, otherwise I'm just going through the motions, doing my thing. Trying to kind of guess of what would be interesting to share. You gonna roll? Oh, he's gonna roll. Got to find the right spot. It's got to be perfect. Oh, there it is. Yeah, there you go. And yeah, since we are going to a show, I have to bathe him. He's a bit dirty. Well, he's sandy. He's got a lot of sand in his coat. So, and the nice thing about having black horses is I know he's dirty, but it's not that obvious, Like if I just sort of sponged him off, he'd be okay. I don't have to do like a deep clean. But yeah, I will probably clean him up. It's supposed to be 70 on Wednesday, so I'm going to clean him up this week. So, all right, guys, thanks for hanging out. Good seeing you, Jan. And I will see you guys later. Yeah, don't forget, make sure you go to the community page and you do give me some comments and let me know what you want to see. And I appreciate it. Thanks a lot for coming.